Stop overpaying for leads and start generating your own. Watch this video and discover a secret technique to scrape over 100,000 leads with the power of Make.com and Apify.com by scraping Apollo IO. Check out the links in the description if you would like to get all the resources used to build this automation. Tools we need to set up this automation are Apollo IO. It's a huge database of business-to-business contact information that can be used for lead generation. You can create a free account with Apollo IO. Make.com to automate the workflows. You can create a free account with Make.com. With the free account, you will get 2 active scenarios and 1000 free operations. That is sufficient for us to create this automation. Next is Apify. Apify is a web scraping platform that allows you to scrape data from websites. In this video, we will extract data from Apollo IO website. You can create a free account with Apify. Once you create the free account, make a note of your API key, which we will be using later on in this video. Next is Lemlist. Lemlist is a sales engagement platform designed to help businesses improve their outreach and lead generation efforts. You can create a free account with Lemlist. When you create a free account, make a note of your API key that we will be using later on. Next, the well-known Google Sheets. We will use Google Sheets to store the lead information that we extract from Apify. Next, you will need OpenAI API key. I made a separate video with title How to Create OpenAI API key. You can refer to that link in the video description. Make sure you have credit balance in all of your API key accounts. Gather all the mentioned details beforehand so that you can build the automation without any interruption. Download the resources I provided in the description before you start building the automation. Using the template will save you a lot of time compared to building it from scratch. In order to build the automation, first, we need to set up the lead search criteria in Apollo IO. To do that, log into your Apollo IO account. Here you can see I'm logged into my Apollo IO account. This is the page where you set up your search criteria. You have different options. You can search on people or companies. Let us use this people search option. You have a lot of filters available here. You can use as many as you want depending on your requirement. I want to create a cold email outreach campaign for electricians. I have certain services that I want to pitch to electricians. So I'm going to set up my lead search criteria for electricians. Click in this search people field and type in electricians. Then we have a lot of filters that are available for us to utilize. You can use as many filters as you want depending on your requirement. I want to use this email status filter. Let us expand this. So I want to select people who are likely to engage, and then I want to find out emails that are already verified. We entered the email status filter. Now I would like to expand this job titles. Click on this drop down list. I want to select owner. Then I want to select director. Next, I want to select location. Expand this location filter. Click on this drop down box. Let me select the country United States. As you keep adding filters here, you can observe the URL here keeps updating with all your filter criteria, and here it is showing you how many filters that we are using, and here there are many more filters that you can apply, but for our video purpose this is sufficient for us. When you're done applying all the filters, click on this save search button here. You can give a name to your search criteria. I just typed in electricians. Then you can toggle this manage visibility, public or private. Then you can click on this save search button. Notice that this URL is constructed with our search criteria. We will need to copy this URL and use it in the Apify setup that we are going to do now. Now let us look at the Apify setup. Log into your Apify account. Here I am logged into my Apify account. As I mentioned earlier, Apify is a web scraping platform. It's a marketplace where you can find different web scrapers developed by professionals and offered for a small price. You can create a free account in Apify, but you may have to pay a small charge to use these scrapers. Apify gives you a sign up credit of $5 that will last you for quite some time unless you are using it at scale. Here you can see I have $5 in my credit and I have used up to 77 cents so far. Once you log into Apify, this is the screen that you will be seeing initially. Click on this store icon. Here you can see different web scrapers that are available for you. A web scraper is called an actor in Apify. You can search here for the web scraper that you are interested in. For example, I want to look for an Instagram web scraper. I simply type in here Instagram and press enter. You see we got different Instagram web scrapers. These are being offered by different developers and may have different price tag on each of it. Since we are interested in finding out a web scraper for Apollo IO, let me search for Apollo here. I typed in Apollo and I got this different result set. For our tutorial purpose, we are going to use this Apollo scraper paper leads web scraper. Let us click on this. You can see you will be charged $5 per 1000 results. You can see we have different tabs here that gives you information about this specific web scraper. First you see this is the input tab. Here we are going to set this up. As this is going to scrape Apollo IO website, you need to have an account on Apollo website, since we have already covered that. And in order to log into your Apollo account, there are two choices here. Either you can use cookie or you can use your Apollo login email ID and password. For this tutorial purpose, we are going to use the cookies method. Then you have this information tab. So you can go through this to become more familiar with this scraper. And there is a runs tab here. It will show you how many runs you have executed. And we have the builds tab here. So this is a build by the developer, and we have integrations, what integration options are available for us. And then there are other tabs like monitoring, issues, saved tasks. Let us get back to the input tab here. You may want to know how to use cookies to log in to your Apollo IO account. You can click on this question mark sign and you will have more detailed information on how to enable that option. First step is that you need to install the cookie editor in your Chrome. It is available as a Chrome extension. Then you will need to log into your Apollo account. Then you will have to click on the extension and export the Apollo cookie. Then you come back and paste the copied contents here. There is a small video also available here. Here I have already pasted my cookie information here and I can show you now. Let us click on this one and then you can go to this cookie editor, click on that one. Since I already installed it, it is showing remove from Chrome button here, but if you don't have it installed, you will have the install option here. Once you install the cookie editor, log into your Apollo account, click on this manage extensions button and then click on your cookie editor that has been installed, and these are the cookies that have been used and these are the options that you have. And you can click on this export button and then click on this JSON button. You see the message cookies exported in JSON format. Then come back to your Apify account and then paste all that information here. Here I already pasted it. Before you paste your cookies here, if there is something else in this field, first clear it out. Scroll down. Here you need to paste the URL from the Apollo IO that was constructed when we set up our search lead criteria. You know that we have set up all the filters here, and here the URL has been constructed. You will just need to click in this browser and then copy the URL from here and then paste it here into this search URL field. Here you can set up few parameters for this scraper. You can mention the start page, total number of records required, minimum wait duration, maximum wait duration, but these are all optional. I just mentioned we want to extract only 2 records here just for the demo purpose. As we have done the configuration now, we can test it and see whether it is running successfully. You can click on this start button. You can see the actor is running. Since ours is a free account, we can extract only 25. You can see the message here. Number of records scraped per run by this actor is limited to 25 for free users. And here you can see the message succeeded. Once the actor finishes running, you can see this green export 25 results button. You can click on that export results button. And here you have different export formats that you can use. We just want to see how the data looks like. So you can just click on this HTML table. And then you want to view in a new tab. You can click on this view in new tab. Click on this CSV and then click on this download option. You can also download it in JSON format. You can click on this JSON. I want to see how the data looks like. So I can click on this view in new tab button here. Here you can see our data that has been extracted. You can see the fields here first name, last name, and then the title and the email is here. And there's ton of other information is also available here. Now this is all good if you want to run actor and then have the information available to you. But our intention is to build an automation using the scraping functionality. For that, we are going to create our make workflow automation. To start working with the template, first log into your make account. Click on this login button. Here you can see I am logged into my make account. Then click on this create a new scenario button and then click on this three dots. Then click on this import blueprint option. Then click on this choose file option. Then navigate to the directory where you downloaded the make template. Select the make template and then click on this open button. Once you see the file is selected here, click on this save button. You can see the entire scenario has been imported here. The first module is the Apify actor module. Click on this module to configure it. If you already created a connection, it will be available for selection in this drop down box. Else you will see create a connection option here. Once you click on that option, you will see this create a connection dialog box pop up. You can give any name to your Apify connection and here you need to copy paste your Apify API key. Then click on this save button. You will see this dialog box after connection is established here successfully. You can see here I am already connected to my Apify account. You can click on this actor field and then select this Apollo scraper which should have been already selected for you. You can also confirm this actor by clicking on this map field and then note down this value here and then compare that with your Apify actor that shows up here 2M APUK. This is a string that you want to compare. You see it matches exactly with what you have here in the make template. And then this run synchronously. Make sure yes radio button is selected. What this will do is to wait for the Apify module to finish successfully so the data is available for the next module. When the no button is clicked, there is no wait time. It will immediately go to the next module and the next module may not have data for it. Next, you need to specify the value in the JSON field. You can clear out any existing from this field first. Then go to your Apify actor. Click go to actor here. Once you are here, click on this JSON button. Click this JSON button. Copy this whole entry and then come back to make.com and paste it here. Let us select everything here. Come back to make. Let me clear out this first. Now the whole field is empty. I just want to paste it here. You can see here the way I pasted, it is not coming up properly. The format doesn't seem to be right. If this happens to you, what you can do is you can use a JSON formatting tool like JSON Online. Let us go to JSON Online. This is the JSON editor online and here you can paste the entire value that you copied from Apify. I'm pasting it here. You see the formatting is coming up properly here. What you can do now is click on this button and then click on this copy formatted button. Now again go back to make template. Let us clear out this. Now you paste the value that we copied from the JSON editor online. Now you can see the formatting is correct. Scroll up and you can see the value is looking good. Make sure the formatting is appearing properly here, otherwise it may not work. As I mentioned, you can use JSON editor online to fix any formatting issues. Then take the value from here and then paste it into the make.com JSON field. You can leave the rest of the fields as they are and then click on this OK button. One thing to note is that if you have a new search criteria in Apollo IO, you need to change this search URL to reflect that new search criteria here, because whenever you define a new search criteria, the URL will be updated. That means we need to have the updated URL here if we have a new search criteria. Next, click on the Apify get dataset IDs module. What we are doing here is we ran the actor in the previous module, but we need to get the data now. You should be able to use the Apify connection you already established in the previous module. Click on this module. Here you can see I am already connected using my Apify connection. And in the dataset ID, you can click on this and then make sure this default dataset ID is appearing here. Then click on this OK button here. Now we can do a small test of the workflow to see how it is working. It's a good idea to keep testing the workflow as we build to make sure we're getting the expected results. To do that, right click here and then select unlink to remove all the subsequent modules from the execution. Now you can see these modules are disconnected. Then click on this run once button. If you see any errors here, make sure the input JSON field contains the JSON without any syntax errors. You can click on this magnifying glass to check the output from this module. We can see the lead information is getting extracted here. Here you can see 25 bundles have been extracted. So it is working as expected, and now we can continue with the rest of the automation. Next is the JSON parse module that contains a sample dataset in JSON format so that we can map all necessary fields we require in the next module. Additionally, it helps in testing the subsequent modules without having to run the Apify actor. Connect this module back to this JSON module again, then click on this JSON module and make sure it has sample dataset which should already be there as we are using this template. You can click on this OK button. Next, we want to add the lead information to a Google Sheet. So for this purpose, we are using Google Sheet add row module. Click on this module. If you already created a connection, it will be available for selection in this drop down box. Else you will see create a connection option here, and when you click that option, you will see create a connection dialog box pop up. You can give any name to this connection. Then click on this sign in with Google and follow all the prompts to allow make to establish a connection to your Google Worksheet account. Once a connection is established successfully to your Google Sheet account, you will see this dialog box. You can see here I am already connected to my Google Sheet account. For the search method, we are using search by path, and for the drive, we are using my drive, and I already created the spreadsheet in my drive so that it is visible here. You will also need to create Apollo Leads spreadsheet. I will include this in the resource template so that you will be able to just upload into your my drive. Once you have the file in your drive, you can click in this spreadsheet ID field and let it refresh. The spreadsheet name should show up here. You can select that spreadsheet. Then the sheet name will be populated with sheet 1. Then we know the table contains headers. The fields in the spreadsheet are mapped to these fields of the make module. Here let us make the JSON module fields available to our subsequent make modules. In order to do that, we can unlink this JSON module from these two modules and then click this Apify trigger and then drag it onto the JSON module. Now we can just run the JSON module. We have the sample dataset here, and the dataset fields will be available for mapping with the subsequent modules. With this, we don't have to run our original actor while we are building the make automation workflow. We just want to run the JSON module so we can even unlink the subsequent modules here. So now only JSON module is there. Click on this run once button. You can click this ignore warning and then say run anyway. So the module ran successfully. You can close this. Now again we can connect back the JSON module to this Google Sheets module. Now you click on this Google Sheets module. Now you see the fields are in purple color. You can click on this, and this is the module number 3, and this is the name field. You can confirm all the fields are mapped and are available here in this JSON module. We have name, we have title, we have organization name, and then we have the headline, then we have the website URL, then we have the industry, and then we have the email, and finally we have the phone number. Once all the fields are mapped appropriately, you can click on this OK button here. We can now do a small test to make sure our Google Sheets is getting updated with the row from the automation. To do that, we can unlink this subsequent modules here. Right click and click this unlink. Now you see we only have the JSON and the Google Sheets modules. Now let us take a look at our spreadsheet. This is our Apollo Leads spreadsheet. You can see right now it is empty. It does not have any rows here. Let us go back to our make workflow. Then click on this run once button. You can see our Google Sheet has been updated here. Green letters mean the module ran successfully. Let us check our spreadsheet and make sure a row has been added here. Here you see the row from the JSON module has been added here. So far it has been working as expected. Let us continue with the next modules. Let us connect back the module so that we can configure them. In the next module, we will use OpenAI ChatGPT to compose our first email to be sent to the prospect. We are using artificial intelligence to personalize the email to have a better chance of getting response from the prospect. Click on this ChatGPT module. If you already created a connection, it will be available for selection in this drop down box. Else you will see create a connection option. Once you click on that, you will see this create a connection dialog box pop up. You can give any name here for the connection. Since we already have our API key, enter the API key. You can also enter the organization ID of your OpenAI account here. Then click on this save button. You will see this dialog box once the connection is established successfully. You can see here I am already connected to my OpenAI account. In the select method, we choose create a chat completion, and in the model field we are using GPT-4o mini, which is the least expensive of all the available models that are here. You can click on this drop down box and then there are various models available here. We are choosing GPT-4o mini system. We are providing prompts to ChatGPT and telling it what to do. In the message one, we are asking ChatGPT to take system role. We are telling ChatGPT that it is an AI language model designed to assist in writing personalized cold emails to potential clients. We are telling it to act like this. Then in the second message, we are giving more details. We are telling it this is a cold email to the name of the person. This is the first time we are emailing them. I want to create an email that is going to grab that person's attention and is unique and is interesting. The purpose of this email is to schedule an appointment to talk about digital marketing services. You can substitute this with your own business services. This is just an example. And here is some context on that person name, person title, person business, person organization. All these details we have provided to ChatGPT. Then we are giving another instruction to ChatGPT. In message 3, we specified the role as assistant. That means this is the output that we are getting from ChatGPT. When we are getting the output from ChatGPT, we are telling it should not include the subject line. Also, it should not include custom variables and it should not include any introduction. And we are telling do not add any additional text. We're just telling it to give just the email. And here is my contact information as a business owner. Once you finish configuration with this module, click on this OK button to save your changes. In the next module, we will use OpenAI ChatGPT module to compose our second follow-up email to be sent to the prospect. Again, we are using artificial intelligence to personalize the email to have a better chance of getting response from the prospect. Click on this ChatGPT module. For the connection field, you can use the connection you established in the previous ChatGPT module. You will see this dialog box once connection is established successfully. You can see here I am already connected to my OpenAI account. Again, for the select method, we are using create a chat completion. And for the model, we are using GPT-4 mini. And again, in the first message, we are telling ChatGPT to act like a language model designed to assist in writing personalized cold emails to potential clients. In the second message, we have specified user as a role, meaning we are providing this user input to ChatGPT. So we are telling this is a second follow-up cold email to the name of the person. The first email already has been sent. The goal here is to re-engage this person and try to schedule an appointment to talk about digital marketing services. Again, we are providing the context about the person. Again, in the third message, this is the output that we will be receiving from ChatGPT. We have specified assistant role and we are telling it should not include the subject line and it should not include any custom variables and it should not include any text. We just expect only the email. And again, we are using message 4 to instruct ChatGPT. We have specified the role as assistant here and we are providing the previous message that we sent. This is a message from the previous module. Once you finish all the configuration steps with this module, click on this OK button to save the module changes. Now again, let us make a test to make sure it is working up to this point. Right click here and then select this unlink option. Then click on this run once button. You can see the module is running. You can see it ran successfully up to the second email ChatGPT module. You can click on this magnifying glass and look at the output from this module. You can expand these choices and then expand one and then expand message and expand content. So you can see this is the email that is composed by artificial intelligence. Looks good. Close this. We can see the emails are getting composed properly, which is what we wanted. Let us continue with our final module that actually sends out these cold emails that we composed using artificial intelligence. Now connect back this module so that you can configure this module. Next we have Lemlist Add Lead module. Lemlist offers a suite of tools to streamline and automate various aspects of sales communication, including email outreach, which is used to create personalized email campaigns, schedule follow-ups, and track open rates, click-through rates, and replies. LinkedIn outreach, used to send personalized LinkedIn messages to prospects and track engagement metrics. To set up call sequences, perform A/B testing, and have team collaboration. You can use any cold email outreach software of your choice. Here in this tutorial, we are using Lemlist. Before we can use this module, we should set up our email campaign in Lemlist. Let us set up a very simple campaign. Click on this login button to log into your Lemlist account. Here you can see I am logged into my Lemlist account. Click on this create new campaign. Here you can give any name to the campaign. I just typed in Apollo Leads Demo. Then click on this email. You'll also need to specify your sender email address here. You can click on this drop down box. I have specified my sender's email address here. Then type in the subject line. I want to specify the name of the person. For that, type in the curly bracket and select this first name variable. Then I will say quick question about the company. I will select the company name variable here. So these two variables will be substituted for each email. Then here we need to create variable for the content of the email. Type in the curly bracket again and I will select email underscore 1. I am creating email underscore 1 variable. This is the first email that will be sent out. Then I want to add a follow-up email also. Click on this plus sign to add a follow-up email. Again select email here. This is the second email that I am going to send. Again you can specify the subject line here. I just want to specify the new subject line. Here I want to add the body of the second email. I'm going to create another variable which is email 2. I just typed in email underscore 2. I want to create a variable email underscore 2. Click on this. This is all we need for the initial configuration. Now come back to the make module. Click on this Lemlist module. If you already created a connection, it will be available for selection in this drop down box. Else you will see create a connection option here. Once you click on that, you will see create a connection dialog box pop up. You can give any name to the connection here. Copy paste your API key here and then click on this save button. Once the connection is established successfully, you will see this dialog box. You can see here that I am already connected to my Lemlist account. Here you need to specify the campaign ID. You can click on this drop down box and then it will show up the campaign IDs that you have set up in the Lemlist. Then in the email, you specify the address I have specified here as info@findbestsolution.tech. Then we have the first name and then the last name and then the company name. You can specify more fields here if you want to, depending on your requirement. Then scroll down till you find custom fields. And in the item 1, in the key, we are giving the email variable that is email 1. This will be the content of the first email message that will be produced by ChatGPT. And here we have provided for the item 2, the key value is email underscore 2, which is the second email that we are sending. And this is the content of the previous ChatGPT module that is producing the follow-up email. Once you finish all the configuration here, click on this OK button to save your changes. Now go back to your Lemlist, the campaign that you set up, and then click on this lead list option here. You can see there are 0 leads here. Now let us do a small test and check how our scenario is running. Just click on this run once button. You can see the scenario is running. You can see the Lemlist module also finished successfully. Now let us go back to the Lemlist campaign. You can see one lead is imported and that lead has been added here. And you can click on this launch button to see the emails that have been generated automatically by the artificial intelligence, the ChatGPT modules. Click launch here. You can see this is the first email that has been composed. You can see it is saying Suzanne, quick question about Macintosh human capital management. This is what we have specified in our subject line and it has composed a very nice email. It will wait for one day and then it is going to send out a second follow-up email. Again, this has been composed nicely by ChatGPT module. So you can add any number of sequences here when setting up the campaign. For this tutorial purpose, we have specified only 2. After completing the scenario configuration and testing to make sure it is working as per your expectation, you can connect back these 2 Apify modules here. Save your scenario by clicking this save button here. Now you can scrape hundreds of thousands of leads and send cold outreach emails to sell your products or services. You can use this scheduling option to run the scenario at specified intervals. Click on this option and then click on this drop down box. You can specify how frequently it should run. Finally, you need to activate the scenario by switching this button to on position. You can see now on is displayed here. Congratulations! You just built a cold email outreach workflow automation in Make using artificial intelligence to compose emails, Apify to scrape thousands of leads from Apollo IO, used Google Sheets to store all the leads information, and set up a cold email campaign in Lemlist to send out cold emails to prospects. Bye until next video.